Very good Wednesday morning to you on The Living Room with Justine Moss. I'm Keith D'Souza. Now, from online to a live stage, you've seen the emergence of YouTube sensations on the World Wide Web. Now it's time to see if these acts can perform live. For the first time ever, a YouTube festival will feature 6 of the most promising YouTube sensations on one stage. It's the first ever music festival to be officially sanctioned by YouTube in the world. 5th of May, the Coliseum, Hard Rock Hotel, Resorts World Sentosa, and of course you can get your tickets at cistic.com.sg. With us today is Ana Free, and she's from Portugal. She's had a series of top 5 hits and a #1 in her native Portugal, and at the last count, her videos have had over 30 million views. Ana, welcome to The Living Room.
Thank you for having me.
Let's get it all out of the way. How did it all start for you?
Well, it's a bit of an interesting story. I was at university because I finished my degree, but in my second year I decided I was going to put a couple of videos on YouTube because this whole YouTube phenomenon thing was starting, and kind of thought, well, get on board with that and see where it goes. Obviously nothing too serious because I was still finishing my degree in economics. And yeah, that's really just how it began. I put up a couple of covers, then some originals, and just kind of garnered my fan base like that.
Fantastic. I'm not sure if this is a compliment, but Justin Bieber did the same thing, right?
Ellen DeGeneres behind him.
Oh, of course, yeah. But, I mean, he started that way. So, I mean, do you think that sort of these days that is the way to go for a lot of artists, is just to upload something for free and then hope that people view it?
I think it's a very pertinent question because there's so much availability out there. There's also a lot of content nowadays, and there's a lot of saturation in terms of what is on YouTube. You know, anybody starting a channel now is quite likely to get lost in all the noise. But at least when I began putting my videos on YouTube, and all the artists who kind of did it in 07, 08. They're sort of catching the beginning of the wave, and they've got really good stats these days. So I think it's definitely an option that all artists, whether you were made online or in the real world, that they should really have a YouTube channel.
Before we deal with more of the social media, you were at university when all of this started. Mm-hmm. What did your parents say? Did you get a real job?
My parents are probably relieved. Yeah, I think there's like a sense of relief. Now, they've always been supportive. I've been playing guitar and been musical since forever. I mean, when I was 8, that's when I started learning. So I think they've always known I have this sort of music bug. But to be honest, obviously every parent wants their child to do well, I hope. And so my parents really encouraged me, yeah.
We had a couple of artists in last week, and they were doing law and stuff like that, and and her mother said, I hope you were just going to be a lawyer. What's wrong with this music stuff?
No, I've got to say, that never happened to me. That was never my story. I'm very lucky to sort of I was really well educated, very lucky to be well educated, and sort of chose my own way. It was kind of my responsibility for whatever happens to me from here on out.
But still 30 million, 30 million views, that's incredible. Or is that kind of like an average thing? And to me, it sounds a lot.
I can't really tell because over what the YouTube channel has it's about 4 or 5 years old now, I guess, but I think it's kind of jumped over time. There's been certain covers which have over 2 million views, and other songs which have very little views, and it's not very linear. It's kind of exponential on some videos. But I think those 30 million have just been the aggregate over the 4 years. So, but yeah, it is still a number to behold.
You can't see this because this is radio. We have Ana and her accompanying, members of her band. That's right, all her people are there as well.
My brother, and
they're all here. Take us through the discovery process. You put this out on YouTube, like Justine says, 30 million views. How did you really get discovered? Who discovered you?
It's complicated because I think every day is like a work in progress. In Portugal, at least, I did a very big telecoms ad campaign, which really was sort of just a discovery of them finding me online and thinking, oh, she's Portuguese, and I'm actually half Portuguese, half English. Let me clarify that. But I was born and raised in Portugal, so like, oh well, she speaks Portuguese. She's got a cool story, and so we did a very big ad campaign. And that's in Portugal how I began, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity. Without that opportunity, it would have been probably a lot harder.
And they're not... Sorry,
I was just going to say, I wish I could say I was half Portuguese. The only thing Portuguese about me is my name.
Is your name?
It's true. I was going to mention your name. It rings a bell.
Speak Portuguese, do you, Keith?
No, I don't. No, don't.
So after that ad campaign, Anna, I mean, you obviously pursued your passion of music, and you had shows, you wrote, you recorded, you travelled, and that just sort of snowballed, did it?
It has. It's snowballed. I mean, I've done a lot of things I'm proud of, you know, opened for Shakira, and that was an amazing opportunity. That's been a real roller coaster ride for me. You know, I've just finished recording my debut album with Argentinian producer Rodrigo Crespo, also through some of the work that we did with Shakira's people. But, you know, it really has been like a whirlwind of opportunities that you really have to take as many as you can and not sleep at night and work really, really hard. And no, it's all worth the effort. But I got to say, it's been hard work, and every day is like a new day to keep growing.
So what's your preference? Do you love the vibe of a live audience, or do you like being in the studio? That's a question that we always ask.
It's a really difficult question to answer, you know, because, I mean, it's kind of like saying, do you prefer to go out for dinner or stay in? And it just depends on how you feel, and each one has its own qualities. I mean, I've been in the studio for the last couple of months, and it's been really rewarding because it's my debut album, and I've never really done... You know, I've done a lot of recording, but never really focused on actually putting 10 or 12 songs together and being in the studio every day, 4 or 5 hours singing. So it's been hard on the vocals, for example, which is something I don't necessarily experience in live shows, but it's been amazing on focusing on the sound that I want to make for this record. But obviously live, you've got the whole, you know, bouncing off the audience thing and the colors and the video component. And it's really dynamic. Studio is a real process. And then the live shows are just insane.
Like usually. it makes it all worth it in a way.
Yeah,
you're interacting
with spontaneous.
Yeah, and interacting with people who you know love your music.
Definitely. It's quite a challenge, you know, not every crowd is easy. I don't know what you're like in Singapore. I'm excited
very
to
well
see.
behaved, I think.
Very subdued, I think. I don't know. The last time I was at a concert, we were pretty subdued.
Yeah, it was like, 25 years ago?
100 years ago. So, yeah, talking about Singapore, how's the weather been treating you?
Well, today's amazing. Well, I like going outside and knowing it's going to be warm no matter what. You know, it's different to London. You know, London, you walk outside, you never quite know. But today, well, it's been very rainy, so we've been very careful. But it's been really beautiful. I love it.
Your first trip here?
My first trip to Asia.
Oh, gosh.
Full stop. So it's a really good first place to start.
And for all the newbies, I always love to ask, how's the humidity? Do you love the humidity? Like the humidity? How's that?
It's crazy.
How does that affect your singing?
I don't really know yet. To be
Okay.
honest, I'm going to be honest, it's not one of those things I've done all that often yet. You know, we've been very carefully planning these things. And for me, I get along quite well, you know. I tend to not really worry about what's happening with the weather. And, you know, there are certain things which will really affect my voice, but everybody's different. You know, what affects yours might not affect mine, and etc. So, but yeah, no, I'm loving it so far. I'm loving it. Can't get enough. I'm a bit lost.
Is there
in the city, I still don't know where I am.
Okay. Is there anything you really want to do while you're here? Anything that you've read
there's
about?
loads. I don't want to do too much.
How long are you going to be
do
here?
enough. I'm going to be here till Sunday, till the 6th. So, and it's just really busy every day. So we'll
Make
see.
the handlers do the work. And make them take you around.
No, I really want to get to feel more of the vibe. You know, I think just by walking around and seeing the city, you know, like anyone else. And obviously when you're with the locals, you get to know everything's special, right?
And the food.
The food,
The foodie herself.
obviously.
She's the foodie. Well, have you managed to sample any of the local fare yet?
Well, we arrived yesterday, so I haven't even been here 24 hours, okay? Like, give me some time.
Well, we always, because
but-
people keep hoisting food on you in this country.
It's great.
Yeah, they
I love
keep
it.
hoisting food on you.
It's amazing. But I've heard that there's some really cool places to get some really good food.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You're going to have to tell me a little.
Let's speak to Justine.
To Justine about it?
She's the foodie
Why?
lady, because she does our food programs. Some of the time,
You're the woman I need to talk to.
Well, you were going to play something for us.
Yeah, we prepared a little couple
that's
of
right.
songs.
And tell us what it is.
Well, the first single off the debut album is called Electrical Storm, which is very fitting for today because it actually is thundering all over the place. But yeah, I thought I would invite Rodrigo, who's here with me, the producer of my album, to play it with me.
And the living room will continue on 938 Live. Take it away, Gabe.
I have a theory, whenever you come around and when you're near me, I think my whole world stops. Trust me, it's like a fire that burns and then you got me. It's like my whole world stops. My mama told me not to fall in love with you. Usually she's on it, usually she's got it. My daddy says I have to learn a thing or two. Usually he's right, but I just feel like you're an juice. I'm blowing up my mind, got my fuse rewired. You're an juice storm, you make my heart burn brighter. The sparks are flying, I'm waiting for you, baby, make your contact. I don't know what it is that makes me feel like that. You're an juice storm. It's not a secret, boy, I'm checking you out. I know you're worth it, you make my heartbeat stop. Trust me, you're undeniably cool. You short circuit and make my heartbeat stop. My best friend says you're a phase, but I don't think she knows. Let's see how it goes. Cause if you're trouble, boy, I wanna taste it. Couldn't this be right? Cause I just feel like you're an electric storm, blowing up my mind, got my fuse rewired. You're an electric storm, you make my heart burn brighter. The sparks are flying, I'm waiting for you, baby, make your contact. I don't know what it is that makes me feel like that. You're an electric storm. Shoot me down, put your finger on the trigger. Everybody's looking so good, but you figure me out. From the left to the right, everybody's looking so good. Who am I? Who are you? Wondering how you figured me. You're an electrical storm, blowing up my mind, got my fuse rewired. You're an electrical storm, you make my heart burn brighter. The sparks are flying, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Sing it now. Rewired, my heart's rewired. 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 Rewired, my heart's rewired.
The Electrical Storm with Anna Free. This is the living room on 938 Live.
Welcome back to the living room on 938 Live with Keith D'Souza and Justine Moss. Now, today we're speaking with Anna Free from Portugal. She's had a series of top 5 hits and a #1 in her native Portugal, and her videos have had over 30 million views on YouTube. She's here to attend a YouTube festival, which will feature 6 of the most promising YouTube sensations on one stage. Anna, that's still quite amazing, isn't it?
Yes, I'm very, very excited. We're going to play a lot of different tunes. Probably three originals and 2 covers, and we like to mix it up so that everybody can have a chance to sing along, because I don't know all of my songs yet.
Sure. Well, let's listen to another one.
Okay. All right. I want your love. That's all I ever need. I want your love. Surrender it to me. I want your love. Strong enough for you and me. Ooh, baby, come over here. Let history repeat. One day I woke up and I said that today's my day. Don't worry about a thing. It's no sin to let the outside world in. Groove on the street, oh, it's taking me high, high. And then I saw you there with the magic in the air as you caught I want your love. That's all I ever need. I want your love. Surrender it to me. I want your love. Strong enough for you and me. Ooh, baby, come over here. Let history repeat. I have a feeling that nobody can say I'm wrong. Oh, put me on a rocket, one-way ticket to your heart. Yeah, the groove on the radio is making me fly so high. And then I saw you there with that magic in the air as you caught my eye. I want your love. That's all I ever need. I want your love. Surrender it to me. I want your love, baby. Now strong enough for you and me. Ooh, baby, come over here. Let history repeat. 'Cause this is not the way I fall in love, baby. No, you might be the devil on the loose, because you're so beautiful. I'm just given to temptation with you, with you. I want your love. That's all I ever need. I want your love. Surrender it to me. I want your love, yeah. Strong enough for you and me. Ooh, baby, come over here. Let history repeat.
Wow, wonderful. Anna.
Anna Free, YouTube sensation.
Gosh.
So you've heard two of her songs, which you might hear again. On the 5th of May at the Coliseum, the Hard Rock Hotel, Resorts World Sentosa. Tickets available from Sistik.com. Anna, before you launched into that lovely medley, you were telling us that 938 Live has gone global.
It's true. It's true. We have a lot of fans from around the world. We have some very special fans of mine in Argentina and Brazil. And I'd like to say hi to everybody out there who's tuned in. Thank you for staying up late, you know, because these people are not sleeping, so they can hear us chat.
And hi from Keith and
Justine. Justine, yeah.
Hi, all the way over in South America.
To everybody.
So, how do you stay motivated? You've got this perky personality. I feel so jealous. But just coming here every morning is kind of a, sometimes it can be this weight and this albatross around your neck.
I don't know. Obviously, there's things that really keep a person driven. You know, basically, if you're living a dream or you're studying or working in an area which is your passion, you know, as I don't know how you feel about working in radio, but you know, usually in the creative industry, there's a lot of things that keep you motivated, even on the, you know, that balance out the downsides of doing things. But for me, it's about the fans. It's always been about the fans and about the music. So it's very uplifting when you hear stories and get letters and fan mail, and you realize you actually are changing someone's life. Yeah. And that, it sounds really sort of ethereal when I say it now, but you have to read it to know. I mean, I also get insane random fan mail, but you know, most fan mail is coherent.
Little gifts sent in the mail.
Yes, lots of gifts. I got a guitar once anonymously. Cool. Yeah, it's very, very, very cool. Very rewarding, you know, to get something back. Yeah. That's what keeps me motivated.
Well, Anna, if you look at your resume, I mean, you know, you mentioned Shakira, of course, who I think, well, I'd like to think she's an inspiration.
I love
Shakira.
She's a wiggler.
Keith always has to bring it down to his level.
We understand what Keith means.
She's a wiggler.
Yes, all right. Thanks, Keith. But you've also played with James Morrison, Joe Brooks, of course. You played alongside Linkin Park. I mean, gosh, that's such a resume. All inspirations for you?
Yes, actually. I get a lot of questions like, oh, well, who would you like to play with? You know, it's interesting. There's something to learn from every artist, from every musical style, and there's a lot of talent out there which isn't on the global, you know, panorama. You know, you just have to scour YouTube, and you're going to find quite a lot within the hour. But yeah, I think it's nice to be named among obviously really, really big bands like that who I respect and who've taught me a couple of things about, the industry. So, yeah, it's rewarding.
Some indie artists find it very difficult to break in or to get a record label spot, to sign you up. What kind of advice do you have for them? Keep on pushing,
I think it's interesting because my case is that, I have had a lot of contact with labels, all kinds of labels in my career over the last 4 years, and I'm not signed, actually. And it's about knowing what you want out of your project, and also being realistic about what you are actually going to get. So my advice is know what you want and realize what you're going to get, because it's very important that that really helps to manage your expectations, which is one of the things that I've learned the most as an artist. I fell a lot of times into disappointment in my early months and years because, you build up this expectation that, this person's so important or from here or there, and it's actually nothing, But you really have to do it for yourself. Yeah. Do it for yourself first, and then everything else will hopefully fall into place if you make the right decisions and try not to close yourself off from other people's advice and read and
take it all in. But I guess we've all sort of, I guess have had times in our lives that we have been brought down to another level, or we've had disappointments. So is it just a matter of picking yourself up, developing a strong psyche almost? Yeah, and
keeping the faith in your fans, even if you've got 5 or 500, it doesn't really matter. Those are 5 people who are dedicating their minutes and their lives to you. So you really have to try and focus on what's important. And, the rest kind of comes step by step. Don't expect everything to happen to you in a day.
It's not a bed of roses.
It's really not.
And it's hard work.
Hard work.
Yeah, it's hard work.
So, Anna, before we let you go, what's next on the agenda? After Singapore, where are you off to?
Well, obviously I've just done the debut album, so that hopefully should be out soon. But everybody can kind of keep posted on my social networks with that, like basically Facebook. And Rock in Rio, playing a lot of shows now, kind of all over the place, and back to Portugal, London. I got some really big shows, and obviously we're doing the debut album. This is the first time in Singapore that I'm actually singing my debut album live. It's very special for me.
So we have to say once again, if you want to catch Anna Free live, it's on the 5th of May, the Coliseum, the Hard Rock Hotel Resorts World Sentosa. Tickets are available from Sistik.com. And of course, you've been listening to us on 938 Live with Anna Free. She's the YouTube sensation.
Absolutely, the latest sensation.
The latest YouTube sensation. I would like to thank all of you for being with us this morning.
Thank you.